Oh, hey, what's up? Professor Meatball and I are just waiting for the other side of this pen to drop. And that is a metaphor that you will only get here on Andrew Mo Money with Professor Meatball, looking at the power hour for the last day of trading today. It is May 28th, 2021. AMC had a few powerful, absolutely epic rips up to 28.40, but we haven't yet seen much price action between that level of resistance and 29.70. So this is the last chance, the last stand behind 200,000 calls expiring in the money. And someone, I think, dropped a comment that asked, are calls expiring in the money bad or good for hedge funds that are shorting the stock here? I can tell you it's a pretty definitive, calls expiring in the money are very bad for hedge funds that want the price action to remain low. And the reason why is because we want more of this gamma snowball, the snowflakes on the ground of people putting their strikes at the money or slightly out of the money are getting us faster and faster, rolling us more and more momentum to the finish line. So GME needs the power today, says Frankly Speaking. I couldn't agree more. Hope we close above at least 26, at least as new FOB. I think we'll manage that pretty well. As the power hour begins, you'll know that there is going to be some hedge fund effery right here from a senseless rejection, right? This doesn't seem like a two-part corrective wave. This feels like that an attempt to try and retake the EMA that the hedge funds paid attention to and said, nuh-uh, here is the 3-minute red candle hammer from 27.30 all the way down to 26.18, right? But not even close to that level of support before already facing a little bit of turbulence up here. You know that the bulls and the apes are fighting back. Over on GME side, we have faced the lowest low that we've had today at 229.19, and we are already facing the wind upward to 233.35 again. That's the price level that you should expect a clean break over, and then we'll be on our way back to the EMA, now consolidating at 237.60-ish. Let's take a look at Ortex to make sure that you guys know that more shorts are piling on. I said Ortex. That's what I was looking for. More shorts are piling on. It might actually be over 18% now. No, still at 17.9, but that's still substantial, right? We are seeing more and more interest pile on in terms of the short interest of free float. So that gives us a sign that AMC short fighters are still fighting, which is a good sign because we're winning. Over here, you see that we had 21.34. We still have 21.34 for GME. So that is a rising tide that is going to cause maximum pain when these hedge funds are stuck in this holding pattern for the amount of shares that they have to return. Now that said, we had seen this out of the money put wall here at $150. Someone's expecting GME to go all the way down to 150, but with what timeline? That's the biggest question here. With $300 of $300 as the strike price that people are really looking at in terms of buying into a pretty sparse overall options chain, but we have major pillars along the way, mainly at $260 and $300. Still, people are throwing their money at $950 over on GME's far out of the money options chain. Diamond hands, here it is. Hold on a second. Okay, what do we have here? I want to just go through a couple of news articles and the pieces of data that I wanted to be able to share in just a second. I kind of want to get rid of this order entry. So let's remove so much more space. That's nice. Con Air games will never sell. And that's the thing. If you guys have already talked about what you guys are doing for the cause and how you guys bought the dip. I saw a bunch of your comments before we stopped streaming like 2 hours ago that you guys were saying that multiple buying the dips had occurred. Someone was bought the dip 3 times earlier today. This is a pretty delicious dip, especially for GME. Right now, nearing 10% down right here. Still above my price, my average price, so I'd have to average up, which I am happy to do. We are still just taking a look at whether or not the buy signals are coming up for AMC and GME. For AMC, we bought right around here for this buy signal. Right now, it's getting a soft sell signal, 2 out of 4. Doesn't seem to be playing out quite yet. GME also facing that soft sell signal, but has already started to play out, dipping down to close to 10% down. All right, so A House says, I bought at 36. Will you come back for me? You bought at 36. Now that's hard. That is hard to do. But yes, we are coming back for you. We're picking you up. No problem, says Christopher Britt. Let's see. Was there a series of attacks this morning? You be the judge with AMC short interest rising and with the available shares to borrow close to 0, now up to 100,000. So they're stepping away. They're saying, yeah, look at all these shares still here, right? We're not doing anything. You know that they have the ability to short on dark pools as well as OTC lit markets. They might be lit, they might not be dark, but they certainly are trading on the off exchanges that affect the prices differently than the lit exchanges here. Kokui says, where the heck is Andrew? I wonder where did he go? Oh man. Serena Bernstein bought 10 times. Dang, oh dang. Milk was a bad choice, says Christopher Britt. What are you doing with milk? Okay, maybe I have to change my title here. Last hour of trading before the this is the last power hour. Oh, I didn't even ring the bell. There it is. People are getting the tasty treat here. Surface Smart says, will I be streaming during the trading days during the squeeze? Haven't used this Ortex trial yet. Want to know a good idea where the shorts are. So yes, I will be. No, I won't be showing my sell action at all. You guys don't get to know what my price points are. The main problem here is that Priz's dilemma that you will regret having a streamer be 1 point of failure for millions of apes. Can I say millions? There's probably millions of apes out there. If you combine all the ants, where are my ants, Koreans, and the apes together, that is going to likely be, I think, the largest Priz's dilemma in the history of the world. I don't think we had something as tenuously, like, on the edge as this question: when to exit your GME and AMC positions, right? Everyone has different floors. You just need to know that no one should be telling you when to sell. It's entirely up to you. Nava Alu says, hey Andrew, can you explain how the share count will reveal the number of synthetic shares? My understanding was that June 2nd counting will only reveal the legal shares. June 2nd, people keep pointing to that date. I don't think that there was going to be major catalysts until June 9th. Or at least the week leading up to June 9th, because we're seeing GME in a major position of weakness. But when that GME shareholder comes around, if AMC hasn't squeezed yet, that is going to be the kicker that both of these stocks need. Look at them right in tandem, right? Sometimes GME suffers more, sometimes AMC suffers more. But when they have upward bullish momentum, they almost always run at the same time. Okay, ding ding. That's the lunch bell. Hold on. Here's what fundamental stock chart action and mutual fund ownership metrics say. Is did Adam Aaron really think Jim Cramer? Can someone confirm this? Oh, I want to know. Can you show me? Stocks of AMC and GameStop can't stop, won't stop due to the self-proclaimed apes. Why does he always want to have to tear us down like that? Self-proclaimed, we are apes. My dog is very friendly, says Erdink Uksar. Yeah, he is. Yeah. I'm gonna say your name is Erdunch. Or Erdinch. Hey friend, at least you're consistent about being a GME talker. Hey, I love GME. GME is how I first started learning about all of this crazy shenanigan, right? And now that I understand that AMC is in the same boat, that's the definition of ape don't fight ape. Apes learn together, apes grow together. AMC equals apes making cash. Trila Troll Maestra Fictitious Fables of Europa. Protect yourself, little ape. Protect yourself, little ant. Get out of our markets before you're crushed. That certainly is a troll post. AMC dipping into the red, having a touch point here on that simple moving average, and now moving down to 25.54. I'm imagining there's going to be some simple resistance here, right at 26.36 here. It's somewhere that we've been supported before. If that does happen, I might have to call another level of resistance here. AMC really is starting to divvy up, just dice the entire playing field above the $20 price range. We couldn't see this until earlier today, where these substantially close, I would say that this is worrisomely close, levels of resistance are starting to get mapped here. And GME is starting to see resistance and support here at 229, just $2 below its price action. So $2 for GME, tiny. $2 for AMC, huge. We should call them self-proclaimed news broadcasters. Oh, Jim Cramer, you got him. Andrew, we need to close at 27.01 or better to support the bulk of the in-the-money calls. And I think you are absolutely right. Let's take a look at those calls. So we have dropped back below 200,000. At 28, there's 55,000 more. There's about a quarter more than a quarter more calls expiring in $1.50 away. And that's not impossible. I feel like even 28 is within reach, because 28, 21 is that level of resistance here. That's 20 cents buffer for those $28 calls. So if we get to 28, that is another 55,000 calls for AMC in the money. And once again, this is the largest week. Even quadruple wishing day didn't even have anything close. This has been the largest week for AMC's options chain. Bark, Meatball, bark. You would get so much DoorDash if we knew your address. That's a good one. 225 gap fill for bounce right here. You think 225 gap fill? So the lowest GME has gone today is 228. That's a $3 dip below there. Let me see if I can turn off auto. 219 is my next level of support. AMC2 surprise, says Tips CC. Well, we're let's get drinking early. I'm gonna pour Glenn at 300 likes. That's how easy it is to get up there. And then, as always, Professor Meatball will do a dab at 1,000 likes. Oh, he hasn't played dead yet. He'll play dead at 1,000 likes. Stay strong, cool, like Kool-Aid, and collected. Ooh, someone tell us about Palantir. Yeah, I still have a position in Palantir. I would like to be up in Palantir. Let's find out if I am. I am not. I'm close though. I'm $1 away. Palantir had a not super hot day. $24. GameStop continuing that tumble. And the 226.67, that's 10.5% down. Like I said, that next level of resistance is at 219.64, although it doesn't look like it needs it. Christopher Pitt says, Scotch, cheers. SSR has been triggered, like, yeah, actually you're 100% right. So the SSR trigger price is 228.72. So Jimmy just crossed over its SSR trigger price. Once again, SSR doesn't really mean a ton when it comes to the amount of tricks that the hedgies can actually play that we can't control. Okay, where's my glass? Here's my glass. Where's my oatmeal? Here it is. Soy Sauce Rick says, Alexa, play Space Oddity by David Bowie. John De Silva wants to show the huge cup and handle forming on the day chart. Huge! Probably not for AMC, right? Yeah, not AMC. Dear God. Hey, Sanosuke 1991. GME plus AMC plus Dogecoin equals future millionaires hodl and make the hedge funds weep in sorrow. It's time for the little guys to win for once. Let's go, fam. Rocket 100, 100, 100. Rocket, 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 rocket to the moon and beyond. I think that's the message that we needed to hear. Because look at 226 bottoming out, 25.38 bottoming out for AMC and GME respectively. We got Destroy the Darkness. Hope you're doing well. Do you think that the government can come in and lock the price or stop the squeeze from reaching meme numbers? Thanks. They can, but I think Gary Gensler has already mentioned a couple of times in Congress that he's indicating that he has other plans, especially because the SEC has already started to sue the short sellers in terms of hedge fund action. I feel like there's going to be substantial things that would have to fall into place and maybe fall out of place in order for Mr. Gensler to do that to us, do it to our mans. Okay, wait, let me start a Zoom call. So in a second, we're gonna have some founders from Tiblio, the options tool that you guys will see in the description down below, come on and talk to us about the crazy options activity that we're seeing here. And so that we can actually use Tiblio to be able to have a better idea of where the options chain is going, especially for AMC's sake. AMC, I think, just crossed 2582. So 25, that is still 180,000 calls. Still substantial, still a huge number. It's the bulk of the calls that are expiring today. We don't want them to expire worthless. Thanks for mentioning Doge, whoever that was with the super chat, says Boozy Pun. But B Showtime says, you apes are a fun distraction from my stressful real life. Oh no. But also, oh yeah, you know it. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Let me show my face real quick. Oh, there's a weird gap. Back to that. Boozy Pun says, I do pay for some AMC though. Hold to win says Wani Fu. That's a good name. Or Woni Fu. Battle of 2501. I really hope not. That would mean that AMC's price action is going to go down another 60-ish cents. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that 2538 is a substantial low. The lowest we got was actually today at 2450, but this level of resistance here at 2556, it likely will cause another bounce, if not consolidate a little bit further between the simple moving average here. You can trade from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Webull. Think about that. It's 1 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Coast. See what Leon says. GME attempted to retrace. Still trending underneath that that level here. See if I can actually open up a Tiblio account. That'll be a deal.
Hello.
Hey, Leon. So we're gonna have Leon on for about 10 minutes just to talk a little bit about how to observe that options chain here. I already have the Tiblio link linked in the description, but I'm gonna have Leon show up with his face. Just a second. There he is. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing? Good. How are you?
For the benefit of everyone watching, tell us who you are and what is going on with the crazy options chain today. Is a gamma squeeze imminent? Maybe not today, but how quickly can we discover that if we're using a tool like Tiblio?
Sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Love your channel, love your content. So I am Leon Smith, one of the co-founders of Tiblio. Myself and Kevin are software engineers, and so we essentially built a system to expose a lot of the underlying information behind all the stocks that we see. So we've partnered with SIBO, the Chicago Board of Options Exchange, to pull in data and present it to users in such a way that's easy to understand and also affordable. So if you use Andrew's link at the bottom, you get 10% off your first month. But essentially, what we do at Tiblio is that we have algorithms that look for the best credit spreads in the market, as well as covered calls, naked puts, long calls, and long puts. So, if you are someone who likes to sell options, we have algorithms that find the best opportunities for you. And for someone that likes to buy options, we also have the best opportunities for you there as well. And so to your question specifically, we like to really sell options in Tiblio. Selling options gives you the highest probability of success, as well as you can make money if the market is flat, if the market goes up a little, or the market goes down a little. So that's really what we like to do in Tiblio, as well as educating people on different option strategies. So, traditionally people like to buy options, buy stocks, and we assume that the stock market can only go up, right? But that's just not the case. And so we really like to advocate for strategies for any given market condition. So right now we're seeing craziness with AMC and GME. Given that, what are some other strategies that we can do to kind of to mitigate that and take advantage of this given market volatility? And so credit spreads are a good way to protect ourselves from this craziness. And so that's what we like to advocate. That's what we talk about quite a bit in our Discord, on our YouTube channel, and within Tiblio. So definitely encourage your folks to check it out. And again, using Andrew's link, you get 10% off your first month.
Okay, wait one sec. So I just took a shot because 300 likes, we made it. Yassine Al-Saladin, I want to be able to have this comment up, but I couldn't for some reason, so I'm just gonna read it. Will AMC correct to $15 before mooning? Should I sell my options now or wait to buy back at a lower price? Or will I never see this low of a price again? So we have Leon right now. He's from Tiblio. He's the founder of a tool very similar to Cheat Code Algorithm. One day we're gonna have the founders of the Cheat Code come on as well to talk about how they're able to get those buy and sell signals. But for Yassine's sake, how do we know what is the best time? Like, can Tiblio tell us where the best place to sell and buy is in terms of the capturing the most extrinsic value from our position?
Right. So, we really advocate for giving the best information for a given point in time. We do not tell people when to buy or when to sell. However, we expose the best opportunities given market conditions. So specific to that question with AMC, let's just think about it just in the simplest terms. Yesterday was quite the run-up historically for AMC.
Oh, yeah.
So given that, you would assume quite a lot of people are taking profits. And so if WallStreetBets essentially owns AMC and no one wants to sell, over time, we might see a drift in the stock price going down. And so I would just warn people, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice, but just be cautious, right? Just be cautious because it's really hard to time a stock like AMC when there's no real fundamentals pushing this current stock price action. One of the executives from AMC reported yesterday that they're expecting losses over the next 2 years. And so you have that information compounding with or juxtapositioning with this current stock market move. And so, given those two differences of opinion, what are you supposed to do?
I think Leon's making a really good point, and once again, just giving you guys the option to be able to have this tool if you wanted to use it. As we can trace the uptrend. I know Leon can't see this, so we're gonna have to pretend like we can trace the uptrend from 2-3 days ago. We are looking at a bullish breakout from yesterday's price action when we hit all the way up to $30, or $29.70. We were predicting that we were going to get knocked back there, and we were. From the price action of where we expecting to be around $36 by the end of today, that price action actually happened in the beginning of today instead. So that breakout was a bullish, essentially a bull's trap or a bullish folly when you take into consideration that we have been warning you guys for a long time that there has been substantial risk of a pseudo squeeze, or a squeeze that is going to make you feel like you need a FOMO and then get out of your position too early. So as of right now, if this uptrend were to continue, it would have consolidated right around the peak, or at the very least the second highest peak during that pre-market of where, let me just draw the straight line here so you guys can see, that would have been the peak for the day. Bulls got over ambitious. The bears either were tricking the bulls or they felt like now they have control, they're not going to get rid of it. So once again, playing with options chain can get you burnt. Hopefully you're not doing it without any knowledge whatsoever. But even if you are semi-beginner or an expert in terms of options, understanding what Tiblio can kind of provide you in terms of support, like I've never even talked that much in depth about this product, but I want to show you that we have Leon here and other expert founders to give you guys a little bit of. So it's pinned in the chat. Go ahead and check it out at the very least to be able to understand what kind of data is supporting your decision to buy and sell. And thank you.
Yeah, and then just one last thing. It's a holiday weekend, so volume is very choppy. So be careful with that also. So there's not enough volume to support a strong, bullish buying action. So just keep that in mind when hopping into any equities in the last 30 minutes here.
Okay. Well, Leon, thanks so much for coming on, and we'll check you out later.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Bye.
No problem. Okay, so, and I know I'm getting a little laggy. It's because I was trying to run the Zoom call and this at the same time. That's why we can't do it for too long. Let's take a look, because this technical analysis is going to be the one that I'm going to reiterate real quick. So 25 minutes more until the end of the day here. All right. Hey, bud. You good? Ladies and gents, let's take a look at the logic. Let's take a look at the data itself on AMC, where we broke out how we are now submerged under a mountain of short attacks and short volume, and where is AMC headed. We have, by the time of this recording, we have about 20-ish minutes until the end of the market, but we can already start to see how this is going to play out. We have up to 200,000 calls on the money here, right? 180 are currently in the money, but upwards of 50,000 more are going to be in the money if we can make another $2 or so of price action upward. And why exactly, you might be asking, did the squeeze seem to be so close at 36.72 at a height of this morning's price action and then fall away? Well, I can tell you right now, that's something that we've been talking about it for a long time, is that the reason why Citadel tripled down into their position a couple of weeks ago is to be able to scare you guys on the last trading day of May to hurt your confidence and the confidence of the other thousands of retail investor apes that basically don't know the DD, don't know the research that we've been doing for months. They are going to look at this trend, think these breakouts that I've circled here in blue, one from earlier yesterday, one from pre-market today, and then the largest one from the very first hour of trading is the sign that the squeeze is squeezing. Not even close. We know that we know that the short interest continues to rise. Ortex gives us that much data, but when we think about these two breakouts here, these are bullish moves to try and take information that we have. Why did we take a 161.8, and why was it predictable that we would fall from that line? Well, this trend line here, the slow aggregation of 20% per day, 30% per day, and then yesterday up to 50% up on the height of the day from $20 all the way to $30. That was unsustainable growth, right? For gamma squeezing, not for the short squeezes, not for the explosive price action you will see when these shorts start to cover, but when you can open your eyes and check out how to be fooled by pre-market action, think about the population of people that are trading during that pre-market, right? We had a trend line that would have brought us to the edge of this yellow line here. So if we followed this uptrend as expected, as was supposed to happen, we should be up about $32-ish here, but this breakout above the yellow line here with no amount of certainty where the bulls and bears are going to agree is going to be overpriced for AMC. That was the kicker for AMC's price action downward underneath this uptrend. So now that we've broken downward, it is getting to become a hard task to break out between two pretty disparate levels of resistance and support. Right now at 28.20 and where the price action is hovering, basically underneath $26. So from here, understanding that buy and holding selling is a step along the process is fine. Buying the dips, heck yeah. Some of you probably have bought the dips more than 3 times today. And if you have and had not yet seen the like counter, well, tell us how many times you bought the dip in the comment section and hit that like until it gets all the way up to 1,600. Comment out which like you are. Understanding that we had the bulls want the price action to hit 161.8, but it should have hit earlier on the day today instead of yesterday. That amount of bullish psych out, the pseudo squeezes, is something that Mr. Kenneth Griffin and the other Citadel members have been waiting for a long time. When there's panic selling, as in a breakout far above the level of retracement that we were expecting to be buoyed by, that was the key pin to be able to take your AMC shares and then flush them. So they tripled their position just so that they could simulate a sell-off at the crucial moment here. And Lemon for Dummies is saying, remember Keith Gill, he says, I don't invest in non-deep value stocks. Deep value investing, deep, that's important. Have a clear understanding that when we are looking at the height of the price action here, right at 36.72, this is going to be uncharted territory since AMC's historical prices have not hit these levels for 4 to 5 years. And now that we have the Jim Cramers of the world, we mentioned how he started to flip-flop and join the GME team starting as early as yesterday. So yeah, he's a greenhorn for being able to become a bull on the GME side. On AMC's side, he just this morning has swapped his stories and it's now a bull for AMC. So more so than not, it gives us a clear and compelling comfort that mainstream media is looking down at AMC right now and still playing this off as a time to be having fun for investors that they are secretly laughing that they're going to become bag holders. So understand that what you are doing right now is making history, is participating in the greatest wealth redistribution that you've ever participated in, but it's also important that you are not playing with money. You're not afraid to lose. So we are quite close to the end of the day. At 25.86, we have 182,000 calls expiring in the money. Much of this is going to be delta hedged already, but we have a significant amount more at 26 and 50,000 more at 28. So the 14 cents can make a huge difference. So people are going to be talking about the battle of 26.01 for a good amount of time. And if we can see some bullish volume at the end of the day, we might be able to push to 28.01. And that's what we are looking forward to. Once again, like I mentioned, we had seen on Ortex that the short interest change has started to buoy the short percent of float up to 18%. So the shorts are adding. And that means nobody's exiting their short positions, but margin calls are starting to creep their heads over to you. Let me take a look at the crypto market here. Some of these fatty cows have started to dip close to 10% today. So we, if you guys knew this, I was actually on Around the Blockchain yesterday, and we talked on that show about when we see margin calls start. It often trickles from the fattiest cows, the cryptocurrencies, the ones that are the most gain and are likely going to take the first hit when it's time to liquidate your positions, to either one, cover your positions, which we have not yet seen according to Ortex, or two, prepare for a major amount of hedge fund effery like we've seen today. So as a reminder, be excellent to each other, continue to pay attention to the charts, because today we saw a great amount of activity with that MACD converging and diverging, but having the ability to have foresight into the matter is important, which is why I was able to use cheat code algorithm to buy in earlier today. During this live stream, I bought in right here at the 4 out of 4 buy signal at 25, averaged up my position by another 110 shares, and I'm feeling pretty positive about it. So get your own cheat code in the description down below. And again, thanks to those of you who make this show possible, right? We're going to continue on into the live stream, but you guys don't sleep when the market is closed, because data never sleeps. For now, but not for forever, I'll see you in the money. Peace. Okay, so back to the minute-by-minute price action. Bots versus apes. This is the apocalypse. You guys can take on a couple of bots, right? Come on. Movie Mang says, we'll try Instagram. Is Movie Mang trying to talk to me? Movie Mang. You can say anything. Say something, Movie Mang. So I know a bunch of you have been asking options questions, so hopefully you had a couple of them answered by taking a peek at what Tiblio looks like. It's price craption. All right, frankly speaking. You're pretty frank today, huh? Let's see. Back-to-back awesomeness is Boozy Pun. Well, we have 18 minutes left to take a look at 8 cents of price action. AMC just needs to push past 26 for 8,000 more options. But if you can push all the way to 28, that's 50,000 more options. Calls expiring in the money. Spoon Platoon, let's go. Take a poll for the people. All right. I was going to do that at 500, but cheers. Ladies and gents, we are getting turned. It's Friday. Hope you guys have some Memorial Day plans. If you do, drop them in the comments. Let me know what you guys are doing. And whether or not you, where's my invite? Come on. Let me jump on in there. Nice barbecue or something? Tuesday morning, Tuesday, gonna be wild. Oh, she's looking for my email. My email is andrewmobusiness@gmail.com. Better be a business-related question. Wagging my finger. Oh, my back. It's not just a name, frankly speaking, says. It's an attitude. What type of action am I expecting on Tuesday? Honestly, every day when I wake up and AMC is up like 20 to 30%, that's what I expect. I'm starting to get spoiled with AMC's price action nowadays. But that said, if you don't know about the shenanigans for the first week of June, well, I just might have to make a video about that. Watching the rain, says Exodus. To any new apes, this is a long game, says AMC, says Dan Healy, and welcome. BTS sandwiches. I would have thought AMC hitting 36 would have gotten some hedgies margin called. Thoughts on that? I don't think hedgies are going to get margin called until like 50 plus. Honestly, I don't think that hedgies are going to get margin called until like triple digits. Which, hey, a couple more days of 20% price action and we're there. Like, we had 35% price action today. Don't forget that, right? You are technically looking at AMC's price down 40% today. Because early this morning we had 35% up. So, Roberto Gama says, oh no, I forgot markers closed 3 days. Eric Rice, it's about perception. It's about faking out your fellow man. The hedge funds getting their way this time around. It's still a huge amount of price action that I bet that a lot of these hedge funds were not expecting to have to budget additional resources for. Like, they're probably scrounging around maybe a couple of extra like B minus bonds to try and get ready here. KFC, Popeyes, or Chick-fil-A. Ooh, I'm gonna do you one better. I'll raise you some canes. I'm raising canes here. That's one of the best chicken sandwiches out there. BTS sandwiches, you still in both? I'm not. I'm not selling until I am dead. No, selling sell button. I'm still learning about what that is. Maybe I'll come back to you, like within a couple of weeks. But no, you see my positions are still here. Night saying you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Chief for the professor. Okay, JB the cook. Here you go. Jollibee. Ooh. Jollibee spaghetti. That's really good. Their chicken is king. GME down to 225, holding tight. Urban Warfare Media, Slink the director. As a retired sailor of the US Navy, I'm gonna kiss my daughter and thank the good Lord I retired in one piece to fight this hedgy war. Yes, sir. Thank you for your service, because every single day, the holdlers, the buyers, the apes, they're working hard. We're talking about boned chicken. Del Taco Double Del. Ooh. I think I had Del Taco for the first time driving to California. Boozy Pun says, I can speak like West Coast people now. Adrian Vitet. Is it good buying day? Well, I just bought some. But I used a cheat code. Currently, the cheat code is not telling me it's a good buying time quite yet, but it's always up to you. Jess is going to drive to Oklahoma again after the squeeze for just some fuzzy tacos. Why some fuzzy tacos? Is he comfy in the shelf? He has a couch on the other side, so his entire body is supported. He just likes to hang over. George Washington is also active duty Navy here. Oliver Snelling is stressed. Why be stressed? Look at me. I'm not stressed. Ilgil Bates says, I was occupied this morning. Missed the whole thing. 3 months in and I'll just keep steady hodling, I guess. Ilgil, there was nothing for you to do this morning. You didn't miss a single thing except maybe to buy the dip right now. I don't know. Troy Hurd just started drinking. What's up, Troy? Oh. Okay, let's close above 25. That's pretty much a guarantee. We're already at 26.60. Like I said, $27 at the EMA. I would have a hard time believing that we're not going to pass the EMA today. Look how high the VWAP is. This is just manipulated price action. Like it's plain and simple. Small W, big W. Oh, you mean this tiny W right here? Well, this is already played out. Alarian Parmit says, unfortunate I have to get rid of my calls as Theta is killing me over the 3-day weekend. When does the SI report come out? I think it comes out every 2 weeks. The Fin report, right? And honestly, at this point, Ortex might be more might be more accurate. Okay. Uh-oh. You're missing out. Fuzzies has some bomb tacos, so I should try some. Arambe dedicated. Why did you spell dedicated with with a portmanteau? For dead. Probably didn't do that on purpose, but still. 221.50 is the brand new GME low for the day. I mean, that's just a tasty dip. Thoughts on opening market action to 36. Do you think they didn't expect that rip? I'm thinking that the bulls didn't expect that rip. So that's why we got caught with our pants down. The apes were not wearing underwear, and we just got trenched essentially. Like I did a whole expectations and uptrend analysis that you guys should check out. Check it out. It's like 10 minutes ago in this live stream. Hey, Andrew says Trillist Gorilla. You are the Trillist Gorilla. What's up? S3 Partners basically owned by Citadel LOL. I don't care about S3. We're talking about FINRA. I can borrow money from my mom. Hedgies ain't got shit. Just myself says, I've been drinking for the past hour. Okay. How do you get info on aftermarket? Damn, Yankee, you just gotta watch the show. Or have a Webull account. Use the description in the chat. Troy says, we like IPOE. Yeah, people talking about IPOE pretty positively, up 2.5% today. Next week, it's going to be, next week or the week after, it's going to be SoFi. I was talking about Ortex data being more accurate than that of FINRA data. I mean to say that it's more available. And there's two ideas when it comes to this, like consistency and availability is what my definition of accuracy is, right? You could be like very accurate. You could be very like consistent, like FINRA, but your availability is like every 2 weeks with a 2-week lag. Like that's not as good as Ortex that tells you on a daily basis, sub-day basis. Is the squeeze done now? Brian, get out of here. No, squeeze has not even started. Sean says the current FUD articles are hilarious. We know better. Yeah. It's true. They actually are really funny if you think about it. Ollie Pollock says, what's up, Gorilla Gang Gang? I had to hit the pub up. I'm street for power hour. LOL. You're street, huh? Timothy LaForest says, I improve my holdings every week. Well, that's the big squazzle. What? Am I missing the conversation here? Favorite dip? French onion, sour cream, AMC. Tom already took half profits from AMC and loaded the boat with Sundial. Today is the day breaking out soon. Tom. Scissors in the chat for Tom. It's okay. Nothing to be ashamed of, Tom. Thanks. Yeah, the first step is admitting it. Pritham7, welcome to the Special Operations Infantry Member level of the Moon Platoon. Professor Meatball is excited to lead you to Valhalla. Here he comes. You do not? You do stock market.
No, I don't.
You do. 5 minutes left until I ring that bell. Actually, it's only 4 minutes left.
Stock.
Hugh almost made me say his name again. Imagine the holiday Imagine the holiday weekend return buying on Tuesday. Yeah, take a nice solid holiday. Let your brain unwind because there's going to be some serious price action when this starts back up again.
Oh, is that the super you?
No, he's just, I just saw his name.
Glad to see they're still around.
Can we just click on AMC? My bad. Sorry, guys. 2631. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty cut and clean case for 2601. It's not 3 minutes left, and I don't want to jinx it. Oh, I didn't say anything. Yeah, I like Josh. Many Joshes are existent in the GME and AMC universe, actually. There's a GME Josh and an AMC Josh. Would I be comfortable holding June 18th options? Yeah, I'd be pretty confident. But I'm not you. And I don't know what your strike price is. Okay. It's great because we lost a lot of paper handers today because that will be bad for us when this goes 2,000. Yeah, paper handers, get out. No, we love you. It's just, that's the scissors and the chatter for you. Boozy Pun says, cheers to Drew's hot sounding secret side guest. He's talking about Leon Smith, the Tiblio co-founder that was on the show. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Leon. I look like James Wan. Can you pull up a picture of James Wan?
Oh. But all these people are older, you know?
James Wan.
I see it, like in the eyebrows.
Oh, he makes videos. He makes movies.
Well, like in this one, you do, but like.
Wait, he made Chucky?
Did he? Oh wait, what about a younger photo?
Oh yeah. Young James Wan? Yeah, I got you.
Made The Conjuring.
Oh yeah, so he's a horror movie guy.
Man.
Okay. What's up, Reese Beats? We love you. How do we vote for you, Mayor of Philadelphia? Can I support you without like getting in trouble? I don't know politics. You know what? Heck yeah, even if I get in trouble, go vote for Reese Beats if you live in Philadelphia. Troy Hurd, best content and treats us fairly, you know? That's the respect. Alright, 1 minute, guys. Holy crap. Wait, AMC's actually testing my patience. You're real close. You better not. You best not. I'm watching you. 10 cents. That's a lot of volatility for the last. That's 650 million volume. That's huge. That's even huger than yesterday. 26.15. That's the ticket. I'm calling it here. I'm deaf now. AMC closing the day 26.15. Let's see if the Stonko tracker agrees. It's a little closer, but still, that's 191,000 calls expiring in the money. Those are now purchased, perfectly purchased by your favorite hedge fund. Yes, they have to be purchased now by whichever market maker sold you that contract. So those are all in the money here. We're looking at AMC with 650 million volume. Reese Speed says, when we rock it, you have to show my co-host. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You speak so fast. I did not
220
understand what you just said.
221.56 for GameStop. Already starting to rocket up in the after hours here. Looking green. 11.5 million. Just a normal Friday for GameStop, but a absolutely ridiculous day for AMC. And that's one of the pictures I want you to leave you with. 96 million average volume 3 months. That is 600% more than what we normally see on the average day. right? And so when you saw that 35% up and then all the way back down, down what? Down like 50%, so down 15% earlier, right? Because when we went to 36, that was 35% up. That's a 50% price change again from its high to its low. And yet, we're just 1.5% down. That shows you how much it takes to try and push AMC overboard. Absolutely not happening. So we're gonna start the smooth ASMR renderings of After Hours with Andrew Mo Money, because this is an important After Hours. It's the last time that you will be able to see significant price changes until Tuesday. 3 days of anticipatory hand wringing, throat clearing, and you know what the third thing is. You guys know. Oh man! All right, and like I said, at 1,000 likes, we're gonna have Meatball do. We're gonna have him play dead. Maybe he'll dab too. You know. Yeah, I'm in the zone. That fast talking is a Chicago trait.
Is it? You just slur your words.
I do. It's still part of it.
Stepdad's from.
Hey Andrew, can we have a short resume of the day and how we stand now? Short interest and important stuff. Yeah, we can. That's the point of After Hours with Andrew Mo Money. After Hours Live. Kathy Scarberry, have a great weekend yourself. AMC and GME vote counts are coming soon. That's the body bag for hedge funds when the vote totals come out, and that's something absolutely legitimate. So now I am going to take a look at what DD is going to come out on top for the next few days, and then I'm also going to. I know I'm like halfway in the frame right now. I'm also going to peruse the House of Cards Part 3. Let's see. It's the Glenlivet. Okay. You're not wrong. Let's see. First ever NFT issued by GameStop should be GME YOLO update. Okay. Not a ton of DD today, but I expect people are just reeling back after House of Cards Part 3. House of Cards Part 3. Can you show Ortex for end of day? Yeah, I can. So we have AMC. Let's refresh. Probably still going to be at 1789. 17.9. All right, so barely any change, but still, that's still change. 17.9% short interest at the end of the day for AMC, and 21.36%, slightly more for both AMC and GME. Jessa votes for another poll of the Glen. Okay, so let's see how long part 3 is. All right, cheers. To all of you apes hanging out there, it's officially Friday. Where are your children? Not here? Good. I'm just kidding. Andrew Mo Money is a child-friendly show. Okay, so this is significantly shorter. I think I can cover this in one episode, in one video. So that is the new House of Cards 3 that we're going to cover in just a second. AMC, GME, roar. Gotta love when Market Watch uses that kind of energy here. Andrew should be sponsored by the Glen. I really should. B Showtime has not had time to catch up with the House of Cards. Yeah, you got it. You gotta be able to. Today confirmed squeeze is coming. I would agree that today is the confirmation beyond any kind of like additional confirmation you can have. Like if you didn't believe that, maybe in your heart of hearts, right? You're like, I'm a little bit conservative about whether or not the squeeze can happen. Right? But now, if you've seen this price action, there isn't a single other asset on the market that's doing this right now, right? Bitcoin's all the way down to 36,000. Ethereum is down 8%. Like it's time to face the music. What a excellent day, in addition to an excellent week for both GME and AMC. Seriously. AMC on a wild run in 2021. Conspiracy theories abound around companies selling meme stocks short, often without owning them, a practice called naked short selling, which is not allowed but can still happen. This week, a campaign to squeeze potential shorts once again emerged, with AMC squeeze trending on Twitter. I'm seeing how the mainstream media is framing this right now. It's very interesting. Conspiracy theories. Well, we have PhDs and White House advisors, Congress people, like evaluating, sorting through, and digging on the evidence. So I feel like conspiracy starting to push the envelope a little bit. Deborah Parsons says, "Oh, Glenlivet will sponsor a product with 84,000 followers." Yeah, then let's make it happen, Glenn. Chop chop. Deep breath. Deep breaths. R.I.P. Harambe. Oh, that was today? Wow, 5-year anniversary of Harambe. Well, happy Harambe. Apes in the chat for Harambe, right? Eggplants in the chat for Harambe. The 411 on AMC. Have you ever heard of anyone say 411? No. One of the best lessons you can learn. Hold on. This is from the Super Stonk daily update. One of the best lessons you can learn in life is to master how to remain calm. Calm is a superpower. Bruce Lee. I think that's the best part, is that it became Bruce Lee. Reverse repo now reaches 485 billion. House Committee, treasuries are close to defaulting. Bill Foster, yeah, I remember streaming Bill, but he was so boring. May 27th, DFE theoretical YOLO report, $54 million. So theoretically, he has 54 million in cashola. Unmitigated. Is this going to be a sideways? This is sideways.
It's steps. Many other rates are pegged against you.
That's sideways, and that's annoying. Okay, that's kind of fun. Treasuries are close to defaulting. Wasn't this House of Card #1's thesis? Looks at repo, looks at video. Oh no. Okay, so we're talking about reverse repos in a second. You guys learned so much recently. AMC closed above 26 now, and the after hours taking in the trying to take its EMA. Right, AMC's not done. It has a lot of potential for later on into just like thinking about where it wants to go. It's just like it's tenting its fingers right now. Homer Moon Hickam, hey Andrew, just joined. This climb continuing next week. Who honestly cares about today? Overall, we are ripping. Homer, you are gonna see 35% rips in your Tuesday, in your lifetime, but no, in your Tuesdays. AMC rip, please. $35 calls for the fourth, looking very red right now. Thank you, Surface Smurf, for the eggplant in the chat for Harambe. Oh, Citadel sold after AMC. Really? Is this a confirmation? A confirmation? Citadel ownership in AMC. Come on, Fintel. Come on, Fintel. Oh, nope. Not as of the 21st. So there supposedly should be another one today. Another 13F that we would like to see. Real Talk says, I'm holding until Tuesday, fellow apes. Then I have to sell if no movement. Real Talk, that's up to you. He's coming in like quite a this is the mentality of a person that doesn't want to be rich, but that's okay. You are afraid of falling, but ask yourself properly, right? With my position, I think I'm up. You can even do the math, but I think I'm up like $10,000 roughly. That's not life-changing money. That doesn't change my life. Come on. Let's see. Citadel is buying a ton of Apex clearing. Oh, now that actually stays consistent with the shenanigans that we have been talking about. Okay, let's talk about House of Cards 3. I'm gonna do the House of Cards trick again. Where's my yes? All right, so here's some fake money. Take 100 out of there. All right, so you take this fake money, you tent it. How big of a House of Cards do you think I can make? Like, that's easy. Can I hold 2 of them? What? No. One sec. I'm about to reveal some DD. Okay, so we have the House of Cards 3 DD here for your perusal. Use real money. Oh, you think I use cash? Cash is trash. Have we learned anything from YouTube finance gurus? Never use cash. Use a credit card. Trying to make a bigger house. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Okay, here we go. Ready? Ladies and gents, I want to show you something. 2 House of Cards. I think that's about like $30,000-ish. Probably some of you have already made more money on AMC and GME in the past 24 hours. So if that is you, then just go ahead and tell us, tell us what you guys have been planning to do with that precious cashola. And if you guys want your fake money here, some prop cash, that's in the description down below. But my name is Andrew. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the House of Cards Part 3, some of which is already coming true. We have a unmitigated disaster. This is from the, this is sideways, but this is from the congressional hearing with the big banks, damaging the United States for 100 years. So you guys want to be able to stay until the end because reverse repos are starting to become one of the larger problems that we had already talked about in the House of Cards Part 1. And what this person says, Mr. Representative Bill Foster, mentions will blow your socks off. treasuries are close to defaulting. That's what Austin Tobit has been trying to say. If you guys are excited for Mr. Austin Tobit, Mr. A Tobit to come back on the show, well, all you need to do is look at that like counter, see if it's above 1800, and then press that like, comment out what you are all the way up to that number. But the next step you need to do is go ahead and check out if you haven't seen parts 2 and then parts 2.2 of the House of Cards part 2. And now that you have all of the information that you need, let's continue. Continuing from House of Cards part 2, if you watch the AMA with Wes Christian, he talks about a number of occurrences where the actual short interest is. And actually, let me just expand this out so you guys can see the whole kit and caboodle here. Severely understated based on the data his firm obtained for legal proceedings. According to his numbers, in most cases, the short interest is 50% to 150% more than what is reported by the SEC. The objective isn't to address the issue, it's to keep the issue hidden. Firms that underreport their short interest are gaming the system by taking advantage of how the short interest calculation is done. When the SEC relies on reports that broker-dealers provide and the FINRA takes years to review the lies within those reports, like we covered in the House of Cards part 2, the broker-dealer can lie without immediately facing the consequences. It allows these firms to operate in a high-risk environment without exposing just how big their risk appetite is. An example was what Wes mentioned, Merrill Lynch. Merrill was fined $400 million in 2016 for using securities held in their customers' accounts to cover their own trades. Check out the screenshot they took. Right. Remember when we mentioned in SEA 15C3-3, in the case of Apex, they were asking customers to book short positions to either a cash account or a short margin account. SEA 15C3-3 protects those customers from allowing brokers to lend out the securities within their cash accounts. Well, Merrill Lynch knocked that one right out of the effing park. Merrill would have made it seem like the required deposit in their customer reserve account was much lower than it truly was. They wouldn't have been able to use that cash if it reduced the amount below to the minimum capital requirement. So they found a way to fudge the numbers. In doing so, they managed to prevent a code red while reaping the benefit of a high-risk opportunity. Should Merrill have filed bankruptcy during that time, those customers would have been completely blindsided. In the case of short selling, the true exposure of the short interest is unknown. And they're not just talking about the short sell indicator. When the firm fails to deliver securities that were sold short, there's a pretty good indication that they've exposed themselves to a bit of the problem. Now, imagine a case where the FTDs start piling up and they still continue to short sell that same security. Think that I'm joking? Here's Royal Bank of Canada, right? They increased their short positions when a failed to deliver position had not been properly closed out. It's kind of like saying, I'm drowning in college debt. I better max out my credit card and do a payday loan in order to fix that first debt. But this is the definition of credit. You don't have good credit as a short whale, as a bad hedge fund, naughty. You are doing exactly what you are telling the poor people in America, the poor people around the world to not do, which is to over leverage your risky appetite. And right now, those risky uncles are about to get Thanos snapped to oblivion. Again, they're pretty shocked at that one. However, none rang the bell quite like Goldman Sachs. Right, violated Rule 204TA of Regulation SHO by failing on approximately 68, so close to 69 occasions to timely close out FTD positions in certain equity securities. Violated Rule 204B of Regulation SHO on approximately 45 occasions. So this isn't a vacuum situation, but just how deep is this and how bad it is? That's something that Trevor Suits is going to tell you. Hey, Andrew, been watching your videos for months and just know diamond hands, apes strong together. So if you want your own comment to be read on one of these live streams, come join the live stream. If you guys don't have the bell icon turned on yet, it's a good way to be able to catch these as they happen. Let's see. When a firm really starts to sweat, they pull certain tricks out of their butt to quell the situation. Again, this is nothing but smoke and mirrors because that's all they can do. As Merrill Lynch artificially lowered their customer reserve deposit, other firms make it look like they cover their short positions. One of the ways they do this is by short selling a ton of shares right before a buy-in. Since we're talking about Goldman Sachs, this seems like a great time to showcase their experience with this. without admitting or denying the findings, the firm consented to the sanctions, blah, blah, blah. We saw something similar to this on a number of occasions. Short sold a security on the same day that they were notified that they were being bought in by the firm in that same security, typically in the amounts equal to or greater than their attributed portion of the number of shares purchased by a firm in an effort to meet its closeout obligations. I promise, it's really as dumb as it sounds. So the perception here is that when Goldman's clients has an FTD and they find a buy-in is coming, the required buy-in would obviously be too extreme for the client to handle. So they begin to buy those shares while simultaneously shorting at least the same amount they were required to purchase. So essentially, it is your babysitter coming to you and saying, pick up that off the counter, and then you pick it up and immediately drop what's in your other hand. It's being a bad boy, but in a criminally evil way. Have you failed to repay a loan, so you went to another bank to get a loan to cover the first one? Well, that's exactly what this is. I know what you're probably thinking. Didn't that just kick the can down the road? The answer is yes. It didn't actually solve anything. There's still one more citation that Goldman received, which truly represents the pinnacle of no shits given. After they cover this, he's not going to understand how anyone can argue the systematic risks that exist within the securities lending business. Check it out. All right, so hopefully we have a quick speed readers here, but for 5 years, Goldman relied on the team of 10 to 12 individuals to locate shares to be used by its clients for short selling. This group was known as the demand team. Naturally, as the number of requests coming in the door started to increase, it became difficult for the team to properly document all of it. The volume peaked around 20,000 requests per day, but the number of individuals that handled this job stayed the same. Obviously, this became too much for them to handle, so they opted out of the manual process and found another solution. The F3 key. Yes, the F3 key, the autofill system that completes 98% of Goldman's orders to locate shares. So the problem with Goldman's autofill system, it was that it used the number of shares available to borrow at the beginning of that day, which had already been accounted for. After using the autolocate feature, the demand team didn't even verify the accuracy of the autofill feature or document which method was used to locate the shares of each order. And this happened for 5 years. If you're not getting angry thinking about this, just think about like the friend you had as a kid that was very into following the rules. That was me. I love following the rules. And when this stuff happens for absolute, like, documentable eternity, that makes me quite upset to know that we are on the other side fighting against an uphill battle. It's a battle that we had been fighting for years before. Just goes to show how dedicated firms like Goldman Sachs truly are to the smallest of details, you know. Great effing work, guys. Okay. So they have to show one more Goldman's short sale indicator violations. It's too good to pass up. For short interest reporting cycles about 4 years, submitted reports that did not include short interest positions of over 380 million shares. So at some point you have to laugh at these clowns. I mean, seriously, one violation for a 4-year period involving over 400 million short interest positions. They have plenty of other short interest violations. They just laughed at how the magnitude of this one was summarized by FINRA with 10 lines and roughly 4 minutes. Whoever wrote that one must have been late to lunch. The last thing they like to note here is that in the way in which short sellers have used options to cover their positions. West gave a great overview of this in the AMA. Basically, one group will buy puts and another group buys calls. This creates a synthetic share that only is provided if the option is activated. Regardless, short sellers will use that synthetic share to cover their short position, and the regulators actually accept it. However, as West points out, most of the options expire without being activated, which means the share is never delivered. This expiration can be set months down the road and allows the short seller to keep kicking the can. I doubt they need to say this, but they remember the wild options activity that was happening shortly after GameStop spiked in January. Pixel was the first one to point it out. While a lot of the activity was actually on the retail front, they suspect that a lot of it's done to by short sellers to cover those positions. That's something that we've been talking about for quite a long time. It's not just a point in isolation, seriously. So, like V-Smoke is saying, it's the real woke. Welcome to the real world here. Hedgies are effed, number 5. They're officially 20 plus pages deep, and there's still so much he'd like to say. It's best saved for another time and another post. he supposes. So he'll wrap it all up with some of the best news he could possibly find. It all started with a 73-page PDF that was published in 2005 by a silverback named John D. Finnerty. John was a professor of finance at Fordham University, where he published Short Selling, Death Spiral Convertibles, and the Profitability of Stock Manipulation. The document is loaded with bad stuff that's incredibly irrelevant today. It's loaded with good stuff. Sometimes you take Shaisa that's good, and sometimes it's bad, especially when it comes to naked short selling. He dives into exact formula that its short sellers use, which is far beyond what his wrinkled brain can interpret alone. However, when firms are naked shorting a company with the goal of bankrupting them, they leave footprints in the butter, which are only explained by this event. The proof is in the pudding, so to speak. So building a short position of HB to drive P star to 0 would involve naked shorting more shares than the film has outstanding. The manipulator cannot drive the share price close to 0 unless he can naked short an extraordinary number of shares. This form of manipulation would result in a precipitous drop in the firm's share price to well below its intrinsic value. A absolute unit of a person wrote this right here in his graduate thesis, in his this is a PhD. This is a person that understands exactly what he's talking about, and something that we had to explain through YouTube videos dozens of times, and now you just got the easiest explanation of it. Any of this sound familiar? Well, the manipulator can drive the share price close to 0 unless he can naked short an extraordinary number of shares. This form of manipulation would result in unusually heavy trading volume and unusually large and persistent fails to deliver at the NSCC. Anyone else remember the volume GME during the run-up in January? The total volume traded between January 31st and February 5th was 1.5 billion shares with a billion, on an average daily trade volume of 88.5 million shares. On January 22nd, the volume reached 197 million. That's roughly 3x the number of shares that exist. It doesn't sound like unusual volume, then I don't know what is. Furthermore, the FTT report on GameStop was through the roof during this time. And here's a little visualization of that. Eventually, the firm will exhaust its liquidity and have to file for bankruptcy. The manipulator will be relieved of its obligation to cover its short position if the firm's shares are canceled in bankruptcy. It's kind of like how to cheat the system 101 for bad guys if your name is Kenneth Griffin. This is how to cheat the system if you are a bad guy named Kenneth Griffin. Notice that the statement where the manipulator will be relieved of its obligation to cover if the firm's shares are canceled in bankruptcy, right? So this is real. This is something that kind of ties it all back together, is what the incentive for the bad hedge funds to do the shorting shenanigans, let's say, to our favorite stocks, and exactly what they're hoping to get out of it. Because, as it turns out, there's a tax-free monopoly on being able to take care of stocks that you don't think should exist anymore. Just bankrupt their company. So, Charter Communications had a whopping 240% short float in 2005. The only way the manipulator could have escaped was by bankrupting the company and relieving the obligation to repurchase those shares. Guess what happened to Charter? They filed for bankruptcy in 2009. However, unlike John's example where naked short sellers were driving down the price without opposition, GameStop had extremely high demand from retail investors to counter this activity. As he has discussed with Dr. Trimbath, Carl Hagberg, and the run-up in volume during January and February was largely conducted by naked short sellers in an attempt to suppress the share price. As he has shown an example with Goldman Sachs, firms will short sell during a buy-in for the same exact reason. To stabilize the price, you must stabilize supply and demand. And you know what Charter didn't have? An army of apes to hodl the stock. Diamond effing hands. And that is what I want to leave you with, because not only is that an inspirational message of joy, of peace, and of exactly how the greatest wealth redistribution is going to happen in our lifetimes, but you are going to be able to hear from the mouth of the writer of that DD himself, Mr. Austin Tobit, on this show exclusively for you in the coming future. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure that you have not only subscribe, because I know most of you have, but hit that bell button, because on the way up to 90,000 subscribers, we're going to have a major swag giveaway. So I hope you guys have some some little socks that you hang on the walls, little stockings, because we're gonna be stuffing them. All right, that's the end of this video. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the money. That was good. Well, what can we do? Why Jay Yogi saying, "Oh, to Citadel dumped the shares they bought earlier, real shares," and that's what I predicted in the analysis before. So luckily, I was right because I'm pretty darn good at it. That's what I predicted about the shares that Citadel tripled down in, and now is jettisoning to pretend like they only can do this like 2 more times, essentially. Because if they do this too many times, it's pretty darn obvious that that you're not going to be able to make it. You're not going to be able to fool me 3-5 times. Only to do it once. So I think 800 is possible. The first squeeze, the first gamma squeeze, 100%. That's the end of the options chain, right at the $800 mark. Look at the options chain right here, right? $800 has always been the right end, and very recently we've started to also look at 950 as a potential, right? As long as there's gamma on the ground, the squeeze will roll over like a snowball. Jay Yogi says, yes, we are holding both. Can you show us the AMC and GME Ortex? Yeah, they did go up very slightly, right? 21.36% for GME, 17.9% for AMC. Overall, substantial, like substantial compared to what it was before, because they needed to be able to fight tooth and nail to prevent GME and AMC stock from going crazy today. Together strong. GME plus AMC equals you're the best. Your best bet. Oh, sorry. Drew 40, holding both, buying both, loving life on all my ape family. Wish I had some water. Please. Okay. Kelly Jenkins, you're brilliant. Stuffing in the stockings. Thank you, Boxer Face. John Wozniak says, we are bleeding them dry. We got this. Manipulation has never been more obvious. SEC stepping in, retail majority ownership, so many factors that make diamond hands just unbeatable. Scooter McDuder says, it's probably a dumb question, but what if every time a market maker sells a call or a short, a small percentage of the premium goes to that company? Huh? To the company? Oh, as in a small percentage of the premium goes to the AMC or GME? That's kind of fun. I don't know. Is that like a startup pitch? Are you trying to pitch me something? Thank you. Sean Machado, love your TA, very concise. That's the goal. Sundown says, when you do your outro for the YouTube video, I get sad. Don't get sad, I'm still here. Okay, all right. Donald Predmore Jr. says, do you think there were more naked shares created today to drive the price down in critical times? Yes. To increase paper hands and prevent it from continuing its run? Yes. You're very astute. We're likely going to be able to see this. So we can look at FTD data on the Super Stonko tracker. And what you can do is you can look at FTDs here. and there's settlement dates, and they only go up to the end of April. So we're likely going to get a huge dump for May when June rolls around. And so we can look at today's date, 28th, to see how many naked shares were necessary to drive the price up today. See those hands, mod. Why was today a good day? Because I know that the attempt at pseudo squeezing was a flop. They thought that they could drop the price significantly by pretending like there was a squeeze, like the $350 fake out from March for GME. But when people saw $35, they didn't go crazy and they didn't drop the price down to $20, right? No, they were still doing, they were still holding hard, which means that there's the same psychology of when people thought it was very bullish for the at the market offering to be completed and the price to not be affected. Essentially, give us your best shot, hits us square in the chin, and we feel pretty good about it. Elon is kiss king BTC butt again. Kind of backtracked on his all-in on Doge pledge. Really? I'm gonna look at that. Elon Musk Twitter. Doge is sleeping. No, Doge is right here. He's here. Doge. Okay. Elon hasn't said much about Bitcoin in a while. Oh. On the 24th, he says, if you'd like to help develop Doge, submit ideas on GitHub. Amy Gilbert, how will we know when shirts finally start to cover? I think that's a really good question. Well, first thing we'll do is look at Ortex, right? And they're not exactly a source of truth because they scan the market. So what you could do is just then look at FINRA. Hold on, where am I going to look at FINRA? I'll look at FINRA here. Oh, it's getting a swing signal in the aftermarket. Actually getting pretty close to 1,000 likes. And then we can look at this number here. 95 million short interest. That's a lot. That's a big number. Jacob Lewis is drunk. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Jacob. Doge on sale. Much discount. Red Hook Texan says, I started off with 4 shares and I'm hoping for 100K, baby. Flavored Mint says, what shirt are you referring to? To the one on my body is so big I can cover up, and then I can't say the rest of that comment. Oh, smash that Doge button, someone's saying. Yeah, smash that Doge button. I don't know what the Doge button is, but someone tell me. How many times will AMC be halted on the way up to 10,000? Halting is an effect of automatic stoppers put in the system. So it's not going to reflect that someone is trying to manipulate the price, for example. What are my thoughts? Donald Predmore Jr. saying, what are my thoughts for AMC come Tuesday, since we have 2 pretty big moves, i.e. Cruella and A Quiet Place 2 being premiered today? Do you want to watch Cruella?
My friend spoiled it for me.
Well, then don't spoil it for everyone else. The truth of the matter is that AMC is going to continue getting the buoys from the positive factors of the market reopening or the economy reopening. So I wouldn't look at specific factors there in terms of which movies are coming out. In fact, I would look at which like CDC guidelines are coming out in the near future. For example, when are we going to be able to be in a movie theater without a mask, for example. My back. Oh, if you have back pain, go in the description down below. Check it out. Review Dork is using my brand. just a kid. Wouldn't that be funny if we started some beef? Nah, it's funny.
Do you ever...
I think about it sometimes.
That'd be better.
Yeah. Let's see. Have a need number, a want number, and a dream number, says Jay Yugi. I like you. You're doing good. I like that. Can you explain what the 810 strike, please? What does that mean? It could be the first target for the squeeze and going up afterwards. It's the right edge of the options chain in terms of significant options activity. So that's why people are talking about $800 a lot. That was something I talked about all the way back in like Quadruple Witching Day, all the way back in like, what was that, February, March? March. But 950 is starting to peak out on the right side of the options chain nowadays. Look at this, it's the 28th. We have that put wall there. We have the, what is this? The 27th. The 26th. There are definitely more at 800 than 900 or 950. But that's why people say spiritually $800 is the right side. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. That was the sneeze. Man, my brain. Johan Rublin says, do you think there's a chance so much selling today that it would screw up the share count, or do you feel like that we held pretty tight as apes? As apes? I think the apes did good. I strongly think that. I think that apes did fantastic because of the tricks that we mentioned along the way for AMC, right? I'm going to release that video as soon as I'm done streaming here. AMC was in precipice of something like incredibly important and incredibly dangerous, and we were able to see through the FUD, thanks in part probably due to the people that like have crafted these diamond hands over time, by telling you guys that there likely was going to be a pseudo squeeze early tomorrow, as in today, and we saw that. Do the Drew. The sneeze has snows. Mother of all sneezes. The sneeze. Okay, I think we're real close to 1,000, so I'm gonna pour myself one last one. And we're gonna have Meatball dab. This is the reward for the 1,000 like counter. Look at the like counter yourself and take and understand that you guys did this. Respeed's coming in. What that, friends, was the mixed squeeze. Don't give him tissue because that would consider paper. All right. I like that. I like that. Reese, you get a pass. All right. Meatball, you want to play dead? Want to play dead? Play dead? Bang! Bang! I don't think he's ever played dead inside the cubby before. Come on, buddy. Bang! 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 You're doing it. Bang! Bang! He can't really turn in the cubby. Here. Bang! He doesn't want to die. Bang! Bang! Well, at least he dabbed. Bang! One of his only tricks that he can do while fitting in this cubby. Bang! Bang! Okay, well, you did good. You did good, bud. It's okay. We came around and rescued him in the last second. For stocks like AMC, if synthetics in fact exist, how do they coexist? How do they coexist with dividend payouts? That's the thing. If there was a dividend that actually paid out, we have a whole video. Just search Andrew Mo dividends, and that would have taught you a little bit about how much money the hedgies would have to pay out, because they're the ones that created those shares, so they have to pay out those dividends. People are like, oh. What you drinking? This is a 14-year-old Glenlivet. I'm gonna buy another one. Okay, well, cheers. 1,000 likes to you guys. Have a good weekend. That's a thick boy, says Mr. Corgo. If I did that to my chihuahuas, they would attack me. Can I just have the treat, Dad? Bro, did you train your dog yourself? He's so good. Yeah, I did, actually. Yeah, he's a very fast learner. So he has more tricks. He can stand on his hind legs and stuff. The Scopio says, I'm sorry, but we must talk. I've been smashing the like button these past few months, and it'd be best for you guys to know now. Oh no. The moon emojis is great. Very nice.
The moon's gonna look like that.
It better.
Staring at you, like, hey.
It better be looking at me. If that moon isn't giving me direct eye contact, I don't know what I did wrong to offend this moon. After a squeeze and a lot of people come into hundreds of thousands of millions, what do you think is a good idea to ensure it is not wasted? Well, definitely to consider investing half of it. Definitely consider that you have the ability to take a portion of that, maybe start your own business, start your own nonprofit, have passive income. I am going to be here as a YouTube channel to tell you guys how exactly you can still turn your millions into a life-sustaining amount of cash for everyone in your family forever. Oh, but that's a great question. Donald Predmore Jr. That dog is amazing, says Ocassius. I agree. Angelina ATF says, LOL, thick boy, my sis has a shepherd that'll take arc off, but who needs 2 arms if millionaire? Okay. Who needs 2 arms? Frosty Matrix says, I watch everyone. I'm my own though. Held through 30,000 profits at the top and didn't sell. Been holding since January, and now you're getting your due just desserts. Your due desserts, not just the desserts, but everything. The smorgasbord. Jay Yogi hates 3-day weekends. No trading. Oh. I don't know. You might have to force yourself to relax just a little bit. Just one day. One day extra in your weekend. Okay, we have plenty of videos coming out for you guys for the rest of the week. I want to say that, you know, if you guys haven't gotten Webull yet, it's free. It gets you 1 free stock just by using it for free. You can load it with, I think, $100 and get the 2nd free stock. A lot of people have been saying that they've been getting AMC. So, I mean, it's just beneficial for you to get it, and it's in the link in the description below. Once again, we had Leon Smith to give you a sense of how to learn more about the options market with Tiblio. And as always, I was able to buy that dip with TradingView. So if you guys want to be able to get buy and sell indicators with cheat code algorithm, that link is in the description down below as well. I want to be able to thank each and every one of you, especially the Moon Platoon Grillionaire and the Meatball the Space Legend here. If you don't see your names on here yet and you have already pressed the join button or the Patreon link in the description down below, I will get around to it this weekend maybe. But I want you guys to have a great Memorial Day weekend. Don't worry about the price stock. I will be tweeting away on Angelo Money on Twitter or on Instagram to share with you what I'm up to this weekend. So hang out with me offline there. But for now, but not for forever, I will see you guys in the money. Peace.
Looking at AirPods. heart faces. Look at this one. It's a freaking shotgun.
All right, see you guys.